Hello, so I guess an update is in order when it comes to this. This painting that I did, I did a painting that I call I Paint Away Food. It is uh, kind of a famine painting. I did it 2 months ago, started seeing synchronicity. I played along with it. I took that energy into myself and I started to starve actually myself. Yeah. So the world, don't forget, the world is a big fractal. And so when I entertain myself with this energy here or pattern in reality, I have to pay the price of that. I at least this time I had to do that. And so I was unable to eat actually. I was put in a situation after fully entering this mode here to be able to paint it, to be able to paint it and find the inspiration. I had to suffer myself. Not for so long, to be honest. It was like 2 days or something like that. But when it comes to food, like some people don't eat because they um, right, they do it for health reasons, right? But when it's not a choice, then it's another situation, right? It's another feeling. And so yeah, and I kind of knew that. Okay, I knew what was going on. I knew that. Okay, I'm starving here a bit, and that's because I'm entertaining myself with this inspiration. It's simply an inspiration that came to me for how long, right? Maybe for some time, 2 weeks or something like that. I started perceiving something, right? And now this Donald Sutherland, star of Hunger Games, he died, and so I will be clear to you what's going on here. And as usual, it is a form of alchemy, okay? As I always say, I always tell you that what's going on is alchemy. And um, it's just like chemicals, but it's like the chemicals of the mind, you know. It's like the oneness of everything, right? And I can perceive this I can perceive the oneness, and I can interact with it, and I can do things with that. And it's like chemical reactions. It's just like chemical reactions. And so you need an activation energy. Activation energy of a chemical reaction in the reality is often that something in the limelight is taken away. Something that is loved, often like loved by the public. Something in the limelight is taken away, and this becomes like fuel. Okay, so it becomes like similar to activation energy of an exotherm reaction. So there always there's always something that there's always something that wants to happen, right? There's always things in motion, and someone like me, like it could potentially be anyone, but someone like me becomes I become what is it called? Let me think. Uh, I always forget this freaking word. It's irritating to me that I forget it. So, mm, yeah. Wait, I'll find the word. Okay. Catalyst. Okay. So, um, I am a catalyst, which means that I can perceive. It's like if you think about observer, like and witnessing. Okay, so it is once again about seeing things, and yeah. So if you perceive, like I perceive, okay, I perceive, good for me. I can I it's like power, it's just simply power to perceive, and so I can decide things by doing like that. I've been perceiving some really weird things, to be honest, for the last month. Really, really weird things for the last month. So I have refused to talk about that. It's really weird, guys. And if something really weird happens within a month time, you know that I want you to remember that I talked about. I mean, there is something really weird, but you know what? Let's forget about that, okay? I don't want to talk about it. Also, it has to do with being a catalyst, right? So as long as someone that perceives doesn't talk about it or doesn't express it with art or music, someone has to someone has to uncover it, someone has to do that. And unless, like, if no one really uncovers it, maybe nothing will happen. That's my thesis is that similarly to a chemical reaction, you require an activation energy. And as I said, let's add some more here, okay? um, mm, so the activation energy is loved is things, or people, or I mean it can be things also. So is loved things, okay? um, Famous people, like people in the limelight. And this grief, like um, the grief makes things happen. It's like, it's almost like, I don't know what's going on here with my video. Something is weird. Um, why can't I move it? I don't know. So yeah, mm, so this, what I'm talking about here, can seem like very cold. It seems very cold to talk like this, like that I'm doing right now, but I'm trying to explain how things work in reality. Okay, so loved things, um, so the grief of this makes things happen. Okay, so I've been seeing this process from start to end. I've been first of all observing, perceiving the initial stages of this for very many times, like so many times. Okay, and then I've been knowing basically what to say, and I've been able to see and present the so-called activation energy in this reaction, and then we can then usually I also present the result. Something, I mean, there is something moving in reality. Right now, something is moving because this actor was loved. I mean, he was famous. It's a face that everyone knows about, that have seen these movies, and now things are in motion. And as I said in the last video, when it comes to mental, the mental universe, and like mind over matter, there's really nothing to do about ideas like this, and there's nothing to do about these forces that I'm talking about. And this, what I'm talking about here, there is really no logic here. Okay, there's really no, like, forget about logic for a while. I love logic, right? Because it helps me to think and to understand things. But sometimes you want to use logic to solve a problem, like, but some problems are not solvable. Like when the mental pattern starts to build itself and there is a poetry going on, there is really nothing to do about it. There is no logic, or preparation that can stop uh, a process like this, right? And this is also, I've been doing this for a very long time, guys, very long time. As you can see, I'm very relaxed about this. Somehow I'm very relaxed about it. You wouldn't feel relaxed about this, right? Because if you would have painted this painting, you would have felt, oh, I just killed 1 million people. That's what you would have felt, okay? And you would have felt horrible about that. And I have felt horrible about these things. I am different, I guess, now. So, um, and this is why I tell you that um, I am not crucified, right? What do you do to a witch? What do you do to a witch? Yeah, in the old days, you used to crucify it and you burn it, right? But these times are over. Like what I'm doing here in reality is in a way impossible. Is from a certain perspective, we can just agree that this is impossible, okay? But you're going to, like, um, we're going to see this happen, basically, because I've seen the inspiration, I've painted it, and now we have the verification. We basically have the activation energy of something that is loved, that is taken, which is in the Hunger Games genre. Okay, the leader of it. So we basically have everything which normally is required for something to happen here. Okay, and so um, and yeah, and there's never, I'll just tell you again. Normally, or very many time, I've asked for a moral debate when it comes to this. But here's the thing: to be able to have a moral debate, you have to agree that this is real. And so far, there is no such thing, right? So I'm open to a moral debate when it comes to this, like talking about morals when it comes to influence and perception. I perceive something. I simply, like, if you perceive something, then you act on your perception, right? Acting on one's perception. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to act on one's perception? No, it's not. Second question: is it wrong to have a sense of control? Well, if you drive a car, would you like to have control over your car while you drive it? Yes, you want. You want to feel in control, right? The feeling of being in control is very natural. And so, um, yeah, I agree with you that this is very weird. My life is very different to a regular person. That I can just tell you that. And um, yesterday or yesterday I believe, yeah, I decided to just cut off a lot of inspiration from the surrounding. I decided, like, I have good sources of inspiration. I have good people which provide with their patterns and their information, and I love to see that. But I have realized that um, maybe it's not in my best interest to be overwhelmed too much with patterns that are not um, which leave me in a state of less control. You know, having less control is good as long as you laugh and you have fun, and as long as there's a loving engagement. And but if I am on the bottom of everything when it comes to, like, I start to talk to people in some comment section directly. I'm at the bottom, right? That's the opposite of where I am actually. So why do I have to be disrespected? Like, some guy and his admins ban me without any reason. I talk about it in the comment section. No one cares, of course. So why do I have to accept being, like, treated like trash in a community when I can simply be on my own and basically rule the world? Like, that's basically what's going on here. If I just constrain my interests a bit, I can just no I just ignore things simply, and it empowers me, I think. And so, but as I said, I'm open to, like, go ahead, moral debate. That's great, because um yeah, because that would make me exist. I basically don't exist because what I do is impossible. So why would I exist, right? So as I said, I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and that's why I know the intricate details of how this is done. What I basically know what power is. Okay, I know what power is, and I don't have anything against, like, when I talk about the crucifixion and the scapegoating, I tell you that you should not carry the cross. And I tell you that because if you know how to not hate, how to not blame, which I don't, okay? I still do these things, which I do here. I paint. Sometimes I paint horrible things. So maybe it's a way to get to know myself, basically. I don't know, to be honest. It uh, it's my curiosity, right? I'm curious, and maybe curiosity is a crime. Who knows? This is the problem with what I'm doing. It's not, you cannot really define what's right, what's wrong here. It's not easy to do because I'm simply using my perception. I'm not in any big group here, doing these things, together in an organized way. I'm disorganized, basically. And um, yeah, it's very much a spontaneous process, but still, yeah. So um, I think if I remember correctly, I painted this in a way to show that I am here, like if if everyone ignores something, like if everyone ignores something that is similar to a dragon, the dragon has to breathe some fire, it has to do that to show that it's here, but I'm just making a metaphor here. Okay, it's just a metaphor. But a bit it feels like that because um why do I have this perception? It's a mystery to myself. I don't know anyone else that have this kind of perception that I have and can act on it and can like make it into um something real, I can basically perceive something. Uh, I can cherry pick something like out of the ether, basically, and then then I can um, act on that and make it grow, basically, like a pattern, perceiving the patterns and making them strengthen, as I've been talking about in other videos. So what should one do when I can do things like that? What should I do, right? It's um it's not an easy question to find a response to, right? And um, um, and when it comes to these things that I do, this is just one of the things. I've been not doing it that much. I haven't been painting. I haven't been talking about things that basically becomes like a curse. I just say something and it's a curse. Without even trying, basically. Um, and and so what were I going to say? Um, yeah. Mm, so the loved things are taken into the machine, basically, of reality, into the ether of reality, and there the the love and the grief of everyone in society, in the world, this grief transforms into something new, which blossoms, which becomes which grows out of that. But in this case, you see, it could simply be the real deal. You have something happening in the Hunger Games, right? And um, so the last time I did something like this is pretty severe what I'm talking about. I've been talking about severe things before, right? I talked about the monkeypox before it happened, right? 1 year before I talked about it in maybe 50 videos or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, 50, 100 videos about monkeypox 1 year before it happened, and then that's when started um, I started knowing how to do things basically. And um, again, the morality question. Some would say maybe it's pretty obvious, it's bad what I'm doing, but from another perspective, maybe not. Maybe it's just power. Maybe we misunderstood power, and this misunderstanding makes us judge that someone that has power in a different way is the bad guy, basically. But um, who knows, you know? Um, so yeah. Um, then we had the largest mm, the largest cyclone, right? In or maybe not the largest. It had the most damage. The largest, yeah. A bit negative stuff, right? But so yeah, besides from uncovering important truths in reality, I guess I do some bad things also, or like it can be considered bad. But I don't, you know, I don't, I don't lie, I don't steal, I don't physically kill something. I don't, yeah, these things from the Bible. I don't do these bad things, right? But in a way, I'm still, um, I wouldn't say that I'm like, I wouldn't say that I'm good, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, you can probably see what I mean. But um, but then again, being entirely good, what's the value of that, you know? You can also have um, I don't know how to talk about this actually. It's a complicated subject, it requires to think a lot and things like that. um, so it's complex, okay. um, yeah, so I have been doing good things also, like purely good things. But let's not talk about that because you're not going to believe me, maybe. But I've done some really, really, really good things. I have done with my influence, which is, yeah, which maybe wait, wait, how to say, um, maybe it is even better than the bad things, right? So, but that's how it's supposed to be, right? So what you see on the screen right now to the right is like a science that has never been presented, because no one understands this basically. No one knows how to do what I'm doing because no one does it. No one, if anyone would do what I do, they would tell me, okay? But um yeah, so I guess that's all, guys. um Not important video. um See you another time. Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.